Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Rex, and welcome to Work Taste Podcast. I'm here again with Joshua Hensley, and we have a great guest here today. We have Greg of Secret Gardens. Now, Greg, why don't you introduce us to Secret Gardens and tell us what you do in the band?
What up? Secret Gardens is it's a band, yes, but it's also like a collective, if that makes sense.
A
Um,
collaborative coalition of
see.
people with.
Yeah, so Secret Gardens started out as a bedroom project for me in like 2019 is when I first started putting out music, and I always had through the multiple bands I was in growing up and whatnot, I always had this like lofty, crazy goal to release an album that sonically represented each season. Sorry, four albums that sonically represent each season. And Secret Gardens started out as my attempt to do that, and I have basically completed that already. I've released the four records, although one of them is a shorter record that I plan on like re-releasing and re-recording and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, that it started out kind of as like a art project, solo project, bedroom project, whatever you want to call it. And I was just saying to you guys before we started recording that I honestly have been trying to fly by the seat of my pants and see how far I could even take it. Like, could I get live players to play with me? Could I play a show? Okay. Could I play a weekend of shows? Could I do a tour? Do other bands want to tour with us? Can we open up bigger shows? Like, how far can I take this? With me purely just making shit that I want to make, like for the sake of making stuff I want to make. So like it can get I don't know, it can get experimental, but not like it can there because there's a lot of genres blended in because this is really just my truest form of expression, and I just don't question like, oh, does this sound like the older stuff or not? Or like, I mean, I kind of don't care. Like, it's if it sounds like something I think is fucking sick, I'm gonna go for it. So, yeah, that's that's like a sort of explanation as to what Secret
Yeah.
Gardens is.
That's all well and good, man. Like if you ever feel like you're like ranting or going on too long, that's exactly why we're here. We want to hear your thoughts on this. But my guess,
Mhm.
my like first question on because since you just touched on each album process of the seasons, why are you so obsessed with the seasons, man? What you like live through them or something, or what? What drove you to be
I
like, I want to make albums about seasons?
so what I've said before, without expanding upon it too much, is like I've always been a person who I can recall pretty much any formative memory from like my adolescence or my childhood or whatever. I can always recall it by like what the weather was like and the time of year that it was. And I mean, I've always categorized music that way, kind of like, oh, this is a band I only listen to in the winter, or this is the type of music I really only listen to in the summer because it's that vibe. And I've just always categorized things that way because I feel really connected to Earth, if that makes any sense, or I don't know. I mean, I don't really care if it sounds weird, but it might sound weird to some people, but like yeah, I when I'm not doing music and not like playing video games or on tour or whatever, I am always like trying to be as outside as I can and hike and just really travel and see some cool shit. Like we live on such an incredible planet, such an incredible miracle of like elements
Yeah.
and science. You can get super existential with all of that, but just what I mean, obviously there's so much tragedy and so much strife and horror in the world today, but there is also just stuff I have seen with my own two eyes that is still hard to believe and just incredible to incredible to have the like privilege to process and go through and just there's so
Hmm.
many corners of this planet that are just like
Yeah.
insanity. How
So
just Earth be doing Earth, you know?
yeah. So like when you're making like just to give people like an idea of the process behind it. Like so what kind of thought process goes into I'm gonna make a spring album compared to like, oh, I'm gonna make a winter album.
Yeah. Um, I kind of think about it as like a funnel down kind of thing. So I just won't question anything that sounds interesting to me like song idea wise. And for making the tetralogy of all four records, I kind of just freely wrote uh for a while and then sorted a bit later. But obviously I knew like okay, after I was done with summer, which was the first one, I was like, okay, I think at a certain point I remember being like, the next one's winter. Definitely. With what I have going on, like the next one's winter. Both because of like the song ideas I had and what was going on in like my personal life in the moment. When I was writing Tundra, that record, like I was going through a really horrible breakup that really impacted me like so terribly, and also pretty much my last band that I was in was like basically breaking up too and going through like those motions and dissolving and whatnot, and it was just both happening at the same time, and I felt like so lost and just fucked up. And then two like a month or two into that, like the pandemic happened, and then I was like, just let me I don't know, I just was like, this is nuts, but also like I'm still grieving and processing, and let me just fucking hunker down to make this record. So like that was kind of just a snapshot example of where I was with that. But I also weirdly enough, like while writing Tundra, I had other ideas come through that I was like, that's not winter. That's summer, or that's spring, that's fall, whatever. And those ideas like made it years later. Like
Nice.
Persimmon on the new record, uh, I had that idea in October of 2020
Okay.
and it came out in October of 2024. So,
Sick.
Fucking-
Good idea. Stick around,
Such a
man.
good song.
I know Greg has made a planner for us. I know I've been like kind of tap dancing all over it real quick, so I'm gonna let him center us right now and shoot off some questions because Josh always has the best questions.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Greg, man, I just want to say first, thank you so much for joining us here, man. We really appreciate you giving us your time. I have been spinning Secret Gardens like basically nonstop for like the past week. Um, so good.
wow.
I went back and listened to each album front to back in a
Nice.
row, and then again and kind of flipped around and just decided, I'm gonna jump around now. So I've looked at it in quite a few different ways. And what a ride. Like complete journey. I love the
Yeah.
concept of the seasons. It's very cool. I the newest album is so incredible, and you do so many amazing things on that. Neat how you put the a lot more vocals on the most recent album, but also
Mhm.
I find myself gravitating towards the first one, Summer. Um,
Mhm.
how do you pronounce that?
It's the Portuguese word for summer, so it's pronounced verão.
Okay.
Um, yeah, when I re-released that, I I might rename it. I'm not sure, or I could like put a parentheses title. I don't know. But verão, and I'm Portuguese, so I don't know. I just felt like it was appropriate rather than just calling it summer. And I couldn't
Yeah.
think of like a creative title for it, like I could with like Tundra, Everbloom, or The Impermanent Amber. That just
Oh
like
man.
I didn't have that like presence of mind to dig deeper there at the time. So that's like another reason I kind of want to re-record it. And there's just like it needs a couple more songs to be a
Yeah,
full
permanent.
album.
That
Cool, man.
impermanent amber though, that's like a cool little like alliteration right there. I like that.
It is. It is. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Personally, I like the name. I think you should keep it. I wouldn't mind a couple more songs, kind of in the same vein. It is
That's
a
what
little
I'm
bit.
thinking. Yeah.
It is
And
a
I
bit.
have other, sorry to cut you off. I have other ideas as to what like types of sounds summer could be like too. Like I didn't fully expand upon it. I don't know. I just was like, let me just do an EP at the time, and it felt good enough for me to keep going. But yes. Anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, especially you're starting out a brand new project, essentially. You want to just kind of put something a little small out and put some feelers out and see how it does. And man, it's a great album. It's probably one of the more straightforward pieces of work as far as the things that you put out. I noticed there's
Mhm.
not really a whole lot of mixed meter on that particular album.
Like
Um,
odd time signatures.
right.
Um, Comet 7 9 is, I mean, I count it as a bar of seven and then a bar of nine. Annie has this 1 5 4 part in it, but you're right. Breathe In is 4 4. Electrical Storm is also 4 4. Walls I Walked Into is like 3 4. So yeah, yeah, there's not as much. You're definitely right about that, but there's a little bit.
Yeah, no, there is, and I appreciate that. I'm a musician myself, as you can see, and I listen to a lot of music that is music for musicians, if you will.
Hmm.
And that album was just it was really cool for me, very impactful to see where the journey started and to see where it went after that. Each album has its own unique flavor and feel to it. They're all fantastic, and I love them each individually for their own particular reasons. So I like what you're doing. Keep doing it, man. It's awesome. I'm appreciating the fact that
Thank
you're
you.
having all kinds of crazy cool features on them. There's honestly too many to name on the new on the new album. And then you had Everbloom that had like Ryan said earlier, Brandon Ewing and Andrew Michael Wells from Idola and Dance Gavin Dance, which is very cool. Good friend of mine there. Always cool to
Mhm.
hear him jump on some stuff. Um, so that being said, I kind of just want to dive into a few questions. I want to start with maybe a little bit more of a personal edge, and then we'll dive into like Secret Gardens and the concept behind that.
Or
All right. So the quintessential interview question, what drew you to music and was the instrument of choice always guitar?
Hmm. Um, I started being like, I think interested in playing music. I always loved listening to music, and I found that very emotionally like evocative in a way I couldn't explain. Like from when I had my first little like Walkman and parents got me like CDs for Christmas. But then I found my brother more into it, and my brother started playing guitar, and I have a good relationship with my oldest brother, and yeah, I mean, he was like really cool to me and showed me like I remember him showing me the music video for Helena by My Chem, and
Classic.
I remember being like sort of scared, but also like this is fucking crazy though. Like what is this? And um then I would seek out more stuff like that on my own, and then like yeah, I got my first guitar, was learning stuff, super obsessed with like Green Day back in the day. I mean, I still love them now. And and then like Guitar Hero happened, and then like goddamn, that's where I first found the Fall of Troy, like many other people. Um and yeah, just from there it was just like fuck.
Yeah. And it's there are definitely some similarities there in my discovery of music. It was my passion really ignited probably in the early 2000s. So around that time with My Chem and the Used and bands like that, Seosin. Um,
Mhm.
Guitar Hero was huge for me too. So
I
very
I
cool,
can
man.
definitely remember that time when My Chemical Romance was blowing up because I think "I'm Not Okay" was like the first video I'd ever seen from them, and it was just like cool, but at the same time like visually striking. And it's just like Green Day was doing a lot of cool stuff back then because American Idiot had come out, and there was just
Yeah.
all these cool stuff going on. And like the Fall of Troy was like a mix mash of all these things, and it was turned up to 100, and it was on like one of the coolest games because everybody played Guitar Hero. Everybody was just talking about it, and it was just like that was a cool time, man. 2000, like what, 4 to 6, 7, great times.
Yeah, my
And
brother
for
actually plays
yeah.
guitar riff too, so similarities there too.
Yeah, man, that song just I just could not believe what I was hearing when I first heard FCP Remix. Like I just was like, what the fuck is this? This sounds incredible. And then
Right.
I got Doppelganger, played that till my CD burned out. Not really, but like theoretically. And then like got Manipulator when that came out, like got Phantom of the
Sledgehammer.
Horizon when that came out. Like I was just obsessed with Fall of Troy.
Right.
Uh,
Doppelganger is a mammoth of an album.
I just remember
fucked up.
because I remember being like a real big fan of him, like early on, and they kind of like taught me like the value of a B-side. And when you
Mhm.
find a band like the Fall of Troy and you start digging for like Ghost Ship BP, and then you dig for like 30 Year War, you start hearing all these songs that are just like, wow, this band's sick, and they have songs that are not even on like a CD or anything. You can find them online, and they're just super sick. It was
Yeah,
just kind of cool.
that's
It's
why
like an Easter egg
why
hunt.
touring with them was crazy because then I got to ask like all these stupid nerdy fucking questions that only a like true nerd would ask. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask because hey, I mean, I grew up listening to you guys. I'm a fan, whatever. I'm asking, get over it. And they were cool. They were fine about it. They're all goated.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely relate, man. That's a little bit of the point of these interviews, man. We get to nerd out a little bit with the musicians, the bands that we love to listen to. So, you mentioned there was another project that was in dissemination, essentially when Tundra was going on. Definitely want to know about other projects before Secret Gardens and if we can find them online.
Yeah, you can find Here's to You online. That's my first band with my buddies in high school, which I guess you could technically say we're still a band. We have not disbanded, but we have not also done anything in many years. Um, we put out some songs over like 2019 to like the last year or two, and that was fun, working on those songs. I feel like I listen back and the song's on Wonder Wander actually, and I think like, wow, this is just an album that just represents my 20s, and yeah, kind of an interesting way to think about it. And so yeah, that's like that was kind of more in the pop indie rock realm, which is a bunch of stuff that I love to listen to, but that's always what Here She's kind of pulled from. And then I was in a band called Vista for from like 2016, late 2016 to like 2020, when we were going through that, like I just talked about. And that was, I definitely cut my teeth there, and it was a lot of fun to be had, and a lot of fun was had at certain points for sure. And that was kind of more of like a dark rock alternative pop kind of thing, more electronic influence, but definitely a darker, more uh melancholy. Well, not even melancholy. It was energetic, but it was also just like dark and
That's
sad.
that's Vista, right?
Yeah, Vista.
This Vista. My phone's all cracked.
Ah,
Sorry.
no.
Don't
No, it should be all on Spotify. It should be all stylized, like capitals. So Vista. Did we
Vista
like
with the song so I can
did we
find it
get
because I want to
taken off
follow it.
Spotify? This might be a live reaction to me seeing that we're not on Spotify. No, we are. No, we are okay.
It's all capitalized, right?
Yeah, we have
This one?
like hold on, let me look. Yes, yep, that's me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, oh wait, this kind of looked like, oh, you got the eyebrow. Yeah, that's it right there. Oh, this is sick, dude. You guys got
um
a million. You got a million streams on Witch Hunt. What's up?
yeah, we did.
People
Um
better be paying attention, man.
Awesome.
I mean, dude, yeah, I enjoyed and appreciated the things that I learned and the time that I had. I'll say
Yeah.
that much. Um, I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, it was formative, and I met so many incredible people over the course of like DIY touring through like half the country through that band, and I just learned a lot. And you know, it was tight. Surely moments I could wish I could take back. And like could do different, but it's all good. But yeah, that was that, and I have a side project that put out like one song with a few of my friends, like the drummer of Here's to You and the vocalist of Regulate. They're like a hardcore band. That is a basically a band of my friends who nerded out over Fall of Troy very young, and it's called Gisoli. There's like one song out, and we have others that we recorded that still need to mix. Um,
On the
that was
to-do
fun.
list.
But yeah, that song that we put out is really good, and I like it a lot. It's fun and energetic. And then there's no other projects that I'm like in officially. Obviously, you know, like I play for a lot like Birds. Um,
So wait,
um,
I wanted to ask, are you touring guitarist of a lot like Birds? Or are you full fledged? I'm a member, like, because I feel like Andy Sizik and yourself, like, you guys have been brought on for this tour, but you're working on the new album, so that's like you guys are a part of the band, right?
no, I'm a touring guitarist. However, it's been a really collaborative process, like a lot more than bands that have the typical like structure of like we're in the band and then we hire musicians kind of thing, which I mean all of it's fine. Like there's no problem with any of those structures as a concept. But yeah, no, I'm touring guitarist and kind of like we have plans to write a bit together to see how we gel and whatnot. And I think that's purely just for like, hey, it'd be fun to try to make some songs. Um, not yeah, and I don't think there's any other plans than just that at the moment. And if there is, like, you know, it'll be a thing later down the line. But I mean, I'm love that, and I think that's perfectly okay and great because at the end of the day, all I really would care to do or would be interested to try to do um is contribute to the music, you know, of Birds because the music is so sick and it would be like an honor. You know what I mean?
I like it. It seems to fit the collaborative vibe that you tend to carry, with Secret Gardens and your other projects and everything. So it makes sense,
Yeah, exactly. It's like I never want to force anything. But yeah, we are at some point early next year gonna try to all get in a room and make something really cool with me and I think Reese as well, but we'll figure that out.
Oh yeah, love it, man. Love Reese. Reese is awesome. Glad he joined Idola recently, and word on the street is they got some new music that they're pumping out at some point in the near future, and supposedly it was the most collaborative it's been in a long time, and I'm pumped to hear that. So.
Yeah, Reese is a fucking powerhouse, dude. He's just insanely sick at everything, and I'm just honored to be in his circle like every day because he's like truly he's in a league of his own. As a player, as a human, he's just like he's kind of unmatched, but I'm just, you know, grateful to be around such awesome people all the time, like and talented people.
Yeah, we're gonna get Reese on the show at some point. We'll talk about Enoch Root a little bit and whatnot,
You
but
definitely should. You definitely should, yeah.
But that time and place will come. Back on track a little bit. Next question I had for you was I wanted to find out what some of your biggest influences were. You have a very distinct sound when it comes to your style in guitar playing. And while all these songs across the Secret Gardens discography each has their own character, there's still something that kind of binds them together. And that something is definitely you and your style. So where did that come from? What are the biggest contributing factors to shaping your sound?
Well, thanks for saying all that. It's maybe a little selfish, but I do intend for that to happen. Like I do create everything across like all the records, and no matter what the objective is, I'm like, well, I still want it to sound like me, and then
Of course.
me is, whatever that is. So, grew up definitely the most inspired by like Fall of Troy. Um, it's weird because there's like songwriting inspirations, and then there's also like just guitar inspirations. Excuse me. It's it's tough because like a lot of the things I'm influenced by aren't the most like direct.
I mean,
But
when I was listening to it, like, I'm just taking a stab in the dark here because, like I've been a fan of this proggy, posty, math rocky stuff for a while. I mean, it kind of sounds like a mix between like Dredge, Strata, and like what was this other one? Consider the Thief. I don't know if you remember that band, but like
Mm.
it's kind of like that, but I don't even know if those would be considered influences because it's such like a niche genre of like vibes meets like intricate guitar work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I get the intricate guitar work and vibes. Like I pull from Pliny a lot. Do you know who that is? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I pull from him, but not like directly. So yeah, it started out as like the objective of the summer record was kind of like explosions in the sky, tides of man, Postilion, and like plenty a bit. And then like with the winter record, I was pulling more from like now, ex this will destroy you, like that kind of post rock. And then like a little like Caspian and like brand new even. And then Everbloom was more like math rock, straight up math rock. So like still the Pliny vibes for sure, but then also like Covet a bit. Um trying to think what else really like got me like I also
Uh,
just wanted to try interesting weird stuff like the synthwave part in Sunrise Joyride was like a total like harebrained experiment, but it worked out so well.
that's
Because
cool.
I also just love synthwave. Across all the records, Tycho, huge influence, I would say. You know who Tycho is? Yeah, they're
I was
fucked
gonna
up.
say, what's your favorite, like who are your favorites in the synthwave? Because I'm supposed to get Dance with the Dead on here pretty soon, and I'm really stoked about that because I love Dance with the Dead. I love Carpenter
Nice.
Brut. I love what is it, Laserhawk, stuff like that. Like I'm a big fan of synthwave. So any chance I could like hear someone's favorites, because like Miami Beach 1984 is probably one of my favorites. But what about you? You got some favorite synthwave bands?
I'm I'm a uh, weirdly enough with most bands or with most music, I'm not a playlist guy. I'm like, hey, who's this artist? I want to know about them. I want to know about their creative process. I want to watch interviews about them, blah blah blah. Um, but with synthwave, I end up putting on a decent amount of playlists, so I don't know 100% of the artists, but I do love the Midnight. I do love FM84. Uh, Hello Meteor is sick. um what's it called? Taiko isn't synthwave, but it's like related
Hmm.
ish, like
Yeah.
in a world that pairs well with synthwave. And Taiko is just like massively influential to me. Like I'll watch interviews, I'll listen to the
Oh,
records like a couple,
that's what's up.
like tens of times per year,
Yeah.
which is actually when you think about it. Um, and they're just so inspiring. Especially
Yeah.
that trilogy of records, Dive, Epoch, and Awake, like some of my
Yeah.
most formative musical like memories.
Nice, man. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, man. Diving into some secret gardens and seasonal concepts.
Mhm.
First thing I want to know is where did the name Secret Gardens come from?
So when I was in Vista, I worked on all these songs in secret for a hot minute. Like I worked on them when I had time because I didn't want any other project to like take away from the band at the moment because we were hitting it
I
pretty
like that
heavy.
though. I like that
Yeah,
you
we
said
were
in secret. Like it's got to be an espionage thing. It's Secret Gardens. It's got to be top secret.
well, yeah, a little bit. But I didn't have the name at the time. Like I was just making some songs because I was like I don't know. At some point after hearing like Tides of Man's post-rock stuff, which is like hugely inspiring for me, I was kind of like I could fucking do that and I could do it well. Like not that they don't, like they do it incredibly as well, but I was like like I get this. I could fucking do this if I wanted to. And so I started just making some stuff like that. And then the first record had some bangers on it. Now I want to refine it a little bit, but like there's certain tracks on it that I'm like, yeah, that was sick. That I was right to have that feeling.
Oh,
And yeah, so then I did work on it in secret for a minute, and then I kind of just randomly put it out when I had the time, and I didn't like anticipate really promoting it much, and I got the chance to promote it later, which is great. But yeah, and then the gardens kind of like yes, secret garden is a phrase, but I mean those kinds of things are always like swimming around in my head just because of how like nature and outdoorsy I like to be and the stuff I like to do in my free time. And so then the phrase like secret garden hit me one day because I was just thinking about the whole ethos of the project and I was like, well, like yeah, that's a thing. That's like a movie, a popular movie or something or a book. And then I was like, but no one's done the plural, and I think that's different enough to where it's like a total vibe. And it's like it's really just like a mission statement, like vibe setter for everything that I put out.
okay.
Whether you
It
think about it or not,
does.
it is. And I like that about it. It's like because I'll tell people that I meet randomly, like, oh, what's your band? I'm like, oh, we're called Secret Gardens. And they're like, ooh, I like the name. Because, like, it's sort of evocative to them. And, I think we sound that way sometimes. So
Paint the
I'm like,
picture.
I like that. Heard that.
Yeah, definitely. When I think about the name, especially in relation to the seasonal concept, it's almost like this sort of esoteric thought that each of these seasons is its own little secret garden, its own place in
Mm,
time, its own feeling, its own vibe. So, that's kind of like the connection that I make anyway. Yeah. So,
yeah, you could definitely perceive it that way. Um, I didn't think of it too literally when starting off, like, oh, this album is a secret garden. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that either. It just wasn't in my it just wasn't in my like mental space. I really was just trying to think of like what sets a complete vibe for everything that I'm doing. Um, because like it can be really like if you have a good band name and also good music and good everything else, it's like kind of easier to get people to fuck with your shit, you know?
Definitely, definitely. I love how the seasonal concept spans the four albums and how each one of them kind of has its own feeling and it embodies that season that you're going for. And whether you meant to do that with all of them from the beginning or whether that was crafted as you went along, it ended up working out really well. And when you go through these albums and you listen, it takes you there. It takes you to that season. It takes you to that moment. And for me, I kind of do something similar as you do, is I connect music with moments in time, memories that are attached with that. Um,
Yeah, it's hard not to.
the idea behind it kind of gives like big like Alchemy Index Thrice vibes,
Yeah. Yeah.
they have a huge
Really?
like
Where I
release.
got the idea, to be honest, dude, or my spin on this idea was the Deer Hunter's color spectrum. Have you ever heard of that?
So good. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like hugely influential for me growing up. Love the Deer Hunter very much.
I love the
And yeah, what's up?
I love the Deer Hunter. They're probably the only band to ever ask me to stop putting them in polls because I kept putting them against Coheed and Cambria, and they're like, "Can you stop doing this? We keep losing."
Start
I've
putting me in
politely
polls.
respected
Start
that.
putting me in polls so people can just be like, who the fuck is Secret Gardens?
I'll do it. I'll do it right now. I'll put you in a poll with
I
like
love it.
Metallica and the White
Yeah.
Stripes and Covet. We'll put Covet there so there's a little familiarity.
We're creating a Facebook psyop right now. I love it.
Pretty much that's what I do. I mean, I run post-hardcore posting on Facebook that's got like 98,000 members. So
Yeah,
let's
dude.
shadow let's do the
It's
shadow op.
honestly, dude, it's like honest. I mean, it's honest work. Like, it's not easy to run that. And also, like, the influence is hard to quantify and talk about. But, like, I found plenty on the Math Rock Post Rock Exchange Facebook group. You
Right?
know that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I first heard a Pliny song, and I was like, what the fuck is that? That's fucking awesome.
Where
And
have
it
I
was like
been?
my discovery, right? Like someone
Right.
posted it, but like I clicked on it, so like I discovered it myself or whatever.
Oh
Um,
man,
and that
we
was
could
back
try to
when like
we could try
algorithm.
to rule the world, man. We could do that with Facebook groups. We can tell everyone that you're Ben Schwartz and this is your band, and and everyone will just come running. They'll be like, "Wait, that's not Gideon from Scott Pilgrim."
Yeah, dude, do it. I'm down. Yeah, no, throw me in the poll or two. See if I can bat with the big leagues, or if people will be like, "Who the fuck is Secret Gardens?" And then they check it out, and they're like, "Oh, he's actually kind of fucking sick." That's the
Ryan's got a lot of cool bands that he's put me on to, and between that his group, couple of his groups, and some other random Facebook groups, I've discovered all kinds of different bands. Secret Gardens being one of them, Happy Hour another one.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, I've heard
discovered
Happy Hour.
yeah.
Swim Gustavo, man. This band was great. I used to play with them all the time. We used to open for them and Anna Moria and Marionette all the time. And I just love random bands I find. Like I found them on the internet, but they lived in I used to live in the OC area and they
Hmm.
were from out there. So it's just like it's always cool finding other math rocky, post hardcore, just stuff that's like it sounds like it's trying to be like the big leaguers, but it's got its own flavor, its own taste. They're not following the same rules that all these other people are doing. And it's just always cool
Yeah.
to find music on the internet. And I'm all about it. Let's make people
Hell
find
yeah.
Secret Garden.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. I
We're
appreciate it.
all- So you know, coming back to the seasonal concept, man, I kind of wanted to pick your brain on
Yep.
what were some of the choices that you made that were intentional on like separating the sounds and basically crafting the vibe for each individual album and making sure that like when you listen to it you feel that season, you feel that vibe. Like, what is it for you that drew you to that sound or instrumentation or whatever you used?
Well, this is interesting because I feel like it's such an obvious question to ask, but I feel like you asked it in a way where no one ever has before. But like there was many intentional choices, even from step one before I wrote a note. Um, and other times, and other times I made the choices along the way because I had better ideas as things came along. But yeah, like for I don't know if I've like I probably have said this in some interview, but for each season, like I will write, I will get, I will like try to get the majority of the work done, writing and whatnot, like in the season. So like I wrote a bunch of Everbloom in like late winter, spring 2021 with Joe. I wrote Tundra from like November to February of 19 to 20. Um, I wrote the summer record. I wrote a great deal of the summer record during like 2018, summer 2018. Yeah. And worked on it throughout the year. The Impermanent Amber, I wrote stuff like I had ideas throughout the year, but the main pre-pro was in the fall of 23. Um, and yeah, like that, and these are all intentional choices because I know it's going to yield like the best result for sure. Like it may not be exactly perfect when I can like schedule stuff and work on stuff, but like if it's like within the ballpark, it's fine. I made a conscious choice to write with a drummer for Everbloom and Impermanent Amber. And also like I had the opportunity to write with Joe Arrington, and it was fucking amazing and incredible to do that. But definitely with Everbloom, because I was like, okay, this needs to be almost the opposite of Tundra, where it needs to be joyful, fast-paced, like super evocative, like just gives you that spring feeling and is like very fun to listen to. And yeah, so I was like, writing with Joe is going to actually like put my ideas and sound on a much faster, rhythmically interesting, more like excited sounding backbone. And that's exactly what fucking happened. Because I was just like, he's gonna have so many ideas that I would just never even think to put on a song, or like grooves that I could write shit around that I never knew I could sound that way. Like there's so many examples of this on fucking Everbloom. But like just get like Cathedral Trees is one of my favorite songs ever and is probably top like three Secret Gardens songs for me. It might be like my favorite one. I don't know. But that song is just so, everything about it is so like such a perfect moment in time. Like everything about it to me. And I owe so much of it to Joe because he just really fucking helped me just be like get so inspired.
Yeah, that groove is
Uh,
incredible. That's one of my favorite on
yeah,
that album.
and I don't know anyone in the world I could write like an insane septuplet groove song with that feels just so like exciting. Like forget about if you're a proggy post-rocky kind of person, like just I think that if anyone heard that song, they would be like, I don't know, like they would feel the sense of excitement that went into it, even if they didn't like it. They would feel like, oh, this is kind of like a brighter, excited kind of song. And yeah, that's just like a perfect little capsule moment for me for Secret Gardens, and I love that song.
That's beautiful. I love that. Joe's such a powerhouse when it comes to percussion, man. It's there's few out there that can match what he does. He does it so well. Glad to hear that he was pretty much a partner on that album, and
Yeah,
also
and oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say also the Impermanent Amber, and
Yeah.
you can hear the shift in the music, on those two particular albums, even more so probably on the most recent, the Impermanent Amber, but um,
Yeah.
absolutely big stuff.
There's a here that here's to say stay feature too is still sick too.
What did you say?
The feature from your other band, Here's to Stay, is pretty sick too.
Oh, here's to you. Yeah.
Here's to
Yeah.
you, my bad.
No, you're good. I have a funny, I'll tell you the story about that in 1 second, but yeah, the Impermanent Amber actually, because I wanted to scale back a little bit on the like fast-paced math rocky typical stuff because that's not what fall sounds like. So because of that, I scaled back a little bit and we borrowed from those vibes of like Joe's, just like fusion, crazy, complicated drum chops. Scaled back on those and I wrote a bunch of stuff like in my room, fully done on acoustic and like vocals. And then there were a bunch of things that I put a pin in it and I was like, no, I'm writing this with Joe and finishing this out with Joe because it's going to yield the result I want. So, yeah, weirdly enough, like Rumination, I had the whole like structure done pretty much of everything and I knew what I wanted and Joe just put insanely sick drums on it and we changed up a couple things. Like yeah, Persimmon, Joe and I had that riff for many years, and like I was just telling you guys, and Joe and I finally sat down with it and made it like a full structure song. All right, no, I think I actually I'm getting my wires crossed. I remember putting demo drums on that song and like actually producing it. So I fleshed that one out fully. I'm trying to think of one me and Joe wrote like in on the spot right there. I think Pleasant Valley was one of those, and Sky Island. Oh yeah, Sky Island. Joe and I just I had like a minute of that song, and then we just like went and did our thing. Classic Joe and Greg combo thing, and that was like a really fun song to work on. Um, and yeah, there was a few other things. The Coven actually, the Coven was a unused Vista song. That probably makes sense if you've heard both bands, but imagine the Coven without crazy drums and like kind of more basic sounding drums. But yeah, that was a demo for Vista that did not get used, and I was like kind of like toiling over it for years because I was like, you don't understand. This song is fucking sick. Why are we not working on this? And yeah, eventually I just ended up making it a song. And Grey Bloom fucking crushed it on that. Made
Oh
it
yeah,
so sick.
right. That's probably one of my top three tracks on the album. So excellent work.
Yeah.
Um, so the speaking of the Impermanent Amber, that one in particular took quite a bit of a shift, especially regarding the use of vocals on it. I mean, tell me about what the inspiration was for that. What made you decide to put so much of that on the album? And why did you decide to wait to give us Greg's vocals until this album?
Uh, Technically I'm singing background vocals on Lighthouse on Tundra, but that's only for real garden heads. I'm kidding. I don't really even really talk about that much, but um, well, I think I think it was just purely like me actually having stuff to say. So I don't vibe with the fact or I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm like okay, here's the song and we need to fill up this part with vocals here. What do we do? Well, we got to write vocals. If I don't already know like what I want to say, or if like I'm writing and there's like a part coming up in a song and I'm not like finished or like halfway finished with what I want to say, it feels like kind of a problem to me because basically what I'm saying is I don't want to write vocals and lyrics just to write them. I'd rather like repeat the part or trim parts out or have an abnormal structure to a song. It's just it's not fun to feel like I need to put filler stuff in my music. So that's kind of why like songs that are structured like rumination exist. Very odd structured song, but it feels so me, and that's why I love it. It feels so authentic to what I think is fucking sick. Um, but then like yeah, sometimes I'll work with another vocalist and they'll have a really structured idea of stuff and but they'll have good and important things to say the whole time, and that's what's awesome. Like that, basically, I'm trying to get everything to have a point and to be like the best it can be, and not just like, okay, like there's this bridge part and we'll just repeat a bunch of stuff. If I
Yeah.
think it's like really serves the song, if I think that serves the song, then I'm gonna do it. But
Yeah.
if I don't think it's serving the song, I'm not gonna do it.
All killer, no filler.
Yeah. And also to finish answering your question, this comes from a few things in my musical history, but I've never felt like a main vocalist, like a lead vocalist. Excuse me. I never I gotta stop yawning. I never felt like I've had a lead vocalist's voice. Um, I think over the years and with the encouragement of my partner too, I think I've kind of learned to accept the fact that I may not think I always sound good or like I should be singing or interesting, but if I do it, there are people who are going to like it, and if I stay like on pitch and on time, most people are gonna enjoy it. I just always thought I had like a weird singing voice or like a weird like tone in my voice.
I can relate. I'm one of those guys that likes to sing, but never really. I'm like, don't put me on the album. Don't record my voice. I'll help you write the lyrics or the melody for that. But like, you
I
know,
was that for
just put
many
me in.
years. And I still am that. I was
Yeah.
that for many years, in many bands, and I'm still that way. However, I'm trying to just be like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking own it, I guess, and just sing on this song. And then there's some songs like I'm finding this pocket of my musical identity where I'm like, that song would sound good in my voice. I think I could sing well over this song. There's actually a unreleased B-side from The Impermanent Amber that is recorded and done, but it's all instrumental because I'm like, I'm not the vocalist for this song. I hear it, I've heard it, I know what it sounds, it's all done. It's
Yeah.
mastered and everything, but it's instrumental because I'm like, this needs vocals. This is a type of song with vocals, but I'm not the vocalist to sing it. I just know that. Like, and it's not going to be the vision I had for the song unless I
Okay.
get the right vocalist on it, which I'm still sort of working on, but I'm holding out. Like, I'm not going to just put it out
I
without
feel
the
that.
vocals that I deserve that I think it really deserves. When I when I put it out with vocals, I'll also put it out instrumental as well,
Yeah.
but not without the version that I see in my head first.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I get that, man. It's like, 'cause I'm a screamo guy, and usually, like, when I work on music, I'll like, I have to get somebody to write all the instrumentals. I'm a screamo guy, so it's like I know where I fit in, and I think it would be really cool if I had a different voice to complement, bounce off of, or just like a different creative vision that kind of like help me get to my point B. Your point C. Let's all meet at point B, and if it works, it vibes. We're all working well. then it's probably going to come out a lot better because you don't want to get somebody that's like, hey, can you do this? And they're like, yeah, I'll just throw some bullshit on top. Look at that, dude. Isn't that great? And it's like, well, no, that's point D. I never said point D. I said point B.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, the features are a cool touch, man. It's great to hear your voice on there, but also neat that you have all these different textures that you put on the album, and it's very true to what you've been saying. You seem to be an artist's artist. You are not making these songs for popularity or fame or anything like that. You're truly like putting these songs together to make a piece of art that you feel good about, that you feel represents something. And I think there's something to be said for that. You're making a song and you're saying, hey, this section doesn't need vocals at all. This whole song might not need vocals, or this maybe just this little part of it needs vocals, or we're gonna do something
Yeah.
different. So I love that, and I think that is truly inspiring for people out there that think when they create something, especially in music, that it has to meet a certain standard to get recognized
Right.
by people. It's not about the art at that point. It's about the recognition. And I like the fact that, the music that you've been putting out is purely for art's sake. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I think, yeah, and it's some people hear that and it's off-putting to them, especially like people in the biz. I'm like, I'm also I like pop music. I think pop music is fucking sick. I blend it with other shit though.
Yeah,
Like, and
there's
the ethos of it, I blend with other shit. So like I'm going to just put out what I think is a good and interesting song to listen to, no matter what. If that has vocals, if it doesn't have vocals, if it's instrumental, like I don't give a fuck. You know?
yeah, yeah.
That's my
Oh,
North Star. That's been that the whole time. And yeah, I mean, this isn't and wasn't and is never going to be anything else other than that. Now,
Yeah.
like if I make a pop song and it gets popular, like fuck yeah, dude, cool. Like hell yeah. Like like on the new record, MT is a total pop song. Like it's completely pop structured. There's two verses, two choruses, a bridge, like bam. And that felt right because I had all that shit to say, and I wanted it to feel like home, kind of. Um, and I had just that vision for it, and it just fell completely within that vision, and I executed the vision with Viana, who features on it, like completely and perfectly. And what I wanted to say and the topic I wanted to talk about in that song was just like very well done. I feel like that's my version of like a Springsteen song or something. But yeah, that case in point being I can do both and I will do both whenever I want.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I would.
I have a question since you mentioned the boss. Like, which Springsteen song would you say it's channeling most?
Oh shit. That would be that would be a
dark thing.
question for Holly, actually, my
Yeah.
partner, my fiance. Fuck. That's a good question.
Dancing in the
'Cause
Dark?
like
Right.
I love that one. That was my mom's favorite growing up. She put that on, she started dancing, and I was like, I love this song. This song's great.
maybe it had maybe it vibes like Born to Run or something. I don't know. It's a very well, what it really is, and this is where Holly intersects because she actually is credited on the song because she helped me write some of the lyrics because uh the topic of the song is something we kind of experienced and went through together as a couple in 2021, and it was like so beautiful and awesome. But like she's an extremely sentimental person, and lyrically that song is supposed to be completely like sentimental, nostalgic, just like really soaking in every detail and making the most of a time and a moment and a period in your life. And that's something I think Springsteen does really well. And something that she likes about Springsteen a lot too, as a, just as a fan. And I think it was cool to like channel that vibe a bit. Just like I listen to that song sometimes and I still tear up just like thinking about everything that I went through and every like beautiful moment of being out there in Montana. And yeah, that time in my life. I mean that really that experience and reflecting on that experience. Sorry to kind of divert into like another whole topic here, but like that made the mission statement for the album, because for a long time I was like, okay, so I have to write about fall eventually, right? So like what am I going to say about it? Like what is my, if I'm going to make lyrics and make a bunch of songs with vocals, no, they don't all thematically have to match up and be like this perfect like concept album, but if I'm gonna think of like what am I trying to say here, and if I could unite all these songs under one principle, it's gonna be that like all the like the impermanence of everything and how nothing ever lasts, especially these perfect moments, um like fall and what that really is. And like October is like one of my favorite months because it's so idyllic in terms of like temperature and beauty and like the colors on the leaves, and just that cycle doesn't last very long. And yeah, so basically that's like the title track of the record. And yeah, I love that, right? I love that song very much.
Awesome. So the record explores like concepts of home, homecoming, decay, and like you said, nothing lasts forever. Which I guess like you were saying is the mission statement. And it feels like,
Mhm.
that the idea of the concept, throughout the albums is sort of coming to a head here. It's finally come to light. Um, is this the bookend? Is there more to the journey? Will there be more? And I mean, because obviously there's only 4 seasons, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
where do you plan on going from here? Are you going to be exploring more of this particular concept or moving on to a new one?
I don't know, man. There could be some smarch weather.
That's much. Um, I really do want to reapproach the summer record Veno quite a bit. I want to add some songs, re-record it. I think I'm a better producer and engineer now, and I have a better ear for stuff. I definitely want to put that out, and work on it. Maybe even, who knows what features I could get on that if I were to reapproach it, and collaborate with some really cool people. Hopefully, that happens. I'm not sure yet. Other than that, I want to still do a few couple things with the seasons. Like I'm planning on starting to record a new acoustic EP of like a couple choice tracks from each season. I think that I've always thought that idea would be cool. Um, but yes, past that, I don't want to just be the Seasons guy. I'm happy if people are like, yo, that's the Seasons guy. That's the band that made the Seasons albums. That's fine. That's great. Um, I think I want to let them cook for a while. And like, I could reapproach the concept in an interesting way, but there are new concepts. And also we don't have to be a concept band forever. I like the idea of genre being the concept, since I
Yeah.
have so many things to play with. So I like the idea of like putting out a bunch of smaller releases, like EPs or whatever, but like collecting genres like Infinity Stones vibes. So
A
like,
little
That'd be
Blizzard
sick.
action. So, is
what'd you say?
that a little King Blizzard action? I don't know if you're
Yeah,
familiar.
they kind of do that. They've made like a metal record and then like a trippy fucking like acid jazz record, and then like yeah. Yeah,
I
so
vibe
then
with it.
maybe sure, yeah, but I'll go with my favorite things to like play around in. It's like I would love to do an entire EP of synthwave shit, like
Yeah.
kind of Sunrise Joyride vibes, but a little more into that world. I'd love to do an EP of just simple singer-songwriter like acoustic shit like Casey Musgraves, who I listen to quite a lot. I love her very much. Um, I'd love to do an EP of just insanely heavy shit like Sky Island or The Coven, just like
Yeah.
heavy, like post-hardcore, whatever.
Filthy.
I actually do I have a concept for that already. But I need time to work on it.
I
And then just
mean,
like other genres, like,
you want to mess with other genres, but I mean, you mess with the concept of seasons. I mean, you don't have to be the seasons guy, but there are other ways to tell time. There's minutes, there's seconds, there's years, there's months. I mean, in your hands and your musical talent, I'm sure you could come up with something to just keep people guessing, man. Like, I'm super stoked because this has been kind of
yeah.
like a great deep dive into like your because it's just for me, I started getting back into music around 2019, and like just to see like your journey from here to there is kind of like, wow, I remember what I was doing in 2019. I remember what I was doing in 2020. And now that you've got all the seasons in the bag and now you have all these genres at your command, the future's bright for you, dude. And I'm really stoked to see what you come up with, to be honest with you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really gratifying to hear you say that because I very much started like I don't know if anyone's gonna listen to this shit, but I think it's fucking sick and I've always wanted to do it and I think Secret Gardens as a whole, but also like the tetralogy, like it's a great deal of like my life's work. Um,
Yeah.
I'll, I'll be in my final years and I'll be like, I'm so proud of that. Like, I'm so proud I spent my time doing that and pursuing just this crazy, like 5, 6 year creative endeavor, dude. It's like, I just have committed so much to it and I've like gained and lost and sacrificed and struggled through it, personally, financially, fucking whatever. But I've had so much joy sitting here, assembling all of it, when it's all done, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like this is like shit I really want to be making. Like I've spent so, especially on the last record, like I spent so much time being like and like just listening to it all and just really being like, wow, like this is me in the moment making like a great deal of like my life's work, if you want to call it that. But I mean, there still can be more down the line. You're correct. To touch back on what you said, there's actually this cool concept that Reese and I have that you might get it out of him because it's actually his concept idea, but he wants to work on it with me. But I'm not gonna dive too into it because I still have to formulate my brain around how I'm going to approach it with him. But we have an idea that we want to work on for a record. It sounds, it sounds fucking crazy though. But yeah, if you talk to him, he might spill the beans, but whatever. I have to think about it. I have to, everything needs to feel like it's the right time. And
Serious, some anticipation building. I like it. I like it.
yeah, everything, I need to really be like, this is the right time to work on this. And I've been touring a lot recently and I love touring. It's super fun. And also it's cool to make money being on tour instead of like fucking like making a bunch of money at home to dream of being on tour.
I
Um,
mean, it's
and
also
some
better
people,
to go on. I was gonna say it's also better to go on tour and actually make money.
yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to, I also work, sorry, just backtracking a bit. Like, I don't just tour with Birds. I work as a tech for some other bands occasionally. Um, And then yeah, I mean like you're paid a working wage, because you're on tour working pretty hard. Especially some bands can have like a lot of gear and a complicated show and whatnot. So I do that occasionally here and there when I can fit in the time between other tours and whatnot. So it's really fun to do that too because it just keeps me on the road, keeps me meeting people and whatnot. But there is obviously too much being on the road and then it can be really bad. So it's all just finding a balance of stuff. But yeah, I also like I need to I have a bunch of ideas that are like little seeds of ideas that I need to plant, so to speak. And I need to feel the ease and the time to work on them. I'm sorry for how much I'm yawning. I'm tired, but I'm not that tired.
I mean, I don't want.
Uh,
I know we started like an hour and 20 minutes ago, I believe. I mean, I don't want to keep you up all night, man. I know you got busy things to do, but I know Josh probably has like a few more questions, maybe.
Yeah, I got
No,
a
you're
couple.
good. I'm fine. What's it called? I don't have work in the morning, so it's awesome. Uh, what's it called? Yeah, what was I just talking about? Why am I blanking?
You were talking about your touring with birds and the fact that you do tech
Mhm.
stuff, and working, and you're making money touring and things like that.
Yeah. Well, it's just nice to have your job be like, okay, you go on tour. It has its benefits. But yeah, I think I just need the right amount of time at home to really sit and be like, okay, this is new music time, and this is what I want to do with this new music, and this is my objective and whatnot. But I've been trying to let other things influence me and just build up like life experience. But I have had some ideas like for songs for Secret Gardens that are like, oh, that's gonna be a good one when I like finish working on it. But I always just do this thing where I like put a little clip on it after it gets to like the minute or so mark. And then I'm okay. When I do my big writing, like staycation or getaway or whatever it is, then I'm gonna work on that one. Like that's getting worked on and that's being turned into a song. But I won't work on it too much before I do that. So like this is one idea I have on my piano that I made like sitting in there just playing. And I was like, oh man, that's so goddamn cool. But yeah, I'm not like finishing it yet. I will eventually. I think I want to write it with Joe actually. But we'll see what ends up happening.
That's definitely an interesting way to keep things balanced between tour and personal writing and stuff. And looking forward to hearing the new concepts fleshed out and new stuff from you. Definitely interested to hear like what it's like with you writing with birds too. Got a couple of
Yeah.
questions touring with them and that's exciting. But I do have one more question before we move on to that is
Mhm.
like I mentioned at the beginning, I went through the albums. I listened from start to finish, all four albums in order in a row. And to me, that feels like the best way to kind of digest them. What would you recommend to like a first time listener of Secret Gardens? What kind of journey do you hope they go on? Where should they start?
Yeah, I always have thought that the best thing to do is go on like your favorite beautiful drive in a place you love or hike with headphones uh during their respective season it is and then put on their respective season albums. So like if you live in, I don't know, I'm in Nashville now, it's like late fall. You could definitely throw on the Impermanent Amber right now and go for like a walk, and it'll be, ah. excuse me again. It'll be beautiful and it'll be gorgeous. And then in a couple weeks, like you could put on Tundra and it would be like, especially during like a snowstorm, like you could put on Tundra and really just have a deeply like, oh, I get chills just thinking about it. Like just
Experience. I mean,
I
to be honest with you, I have plans of actually doing that. It's funny you mentioned that because I'm hoping
please.
I live in Virginia and we should be getting snow at some point this season. And definitely we'll be throwing that album on if we get a good snowstorm.
Yeah, if you guys get one, like go on like a walk. Like if the snowstorm happens at night or at any point, like go on a walk like in your all bundled up winter jacket and listen to Tundra and like I promise you it'll be transformative. Like it'll be
Love
so
it.
sick. I've done that before and I've been like, this is fucking crazy. Like hell yeah. Um, especially just like that opening track. It's so God, it's so fun to relive those memories and like just really or even recontextualize things with new experiences going on. I'm really, really, really proud of all the records. I'm especially proud of Tundra for its execution in what it sought out to do. And like the album cover and everything, like it's all just a package of songs that I'm really like, I really started to believe in what Secret Gardens could be when that record came out. I just was really like, oh, fuck, like this is a real record that people I don't know are finding, and it's not just like a guy in a local band and whatnot. Like it's transcending to the general mass of people who are fans of this type of music, like post rock, whatever music. And it's like I don't know, it was like up to bat with other records, and I just made it in my bedroom,
Yeah.
uh, really, really depressed and really needing to exercise some demons, and it was just like a beautiful testament to what I could achieve and everything at the time, and my ability to really go through the stages of grief and come out the other side, because it's kind of loosely like each song on that record feels like a stage of grief, to be totally honest. Listen to it again with that context in mind and see what you think.
Okay. All right. It sounds like that album in particular is really personal for you. I'm sure all of them have their own, touch of personalness for you, but like I could definitely see how that one evokes some deeper emotions that aren't quite explored as much on the other albums. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the point, I think. Um, the point was just Tundra was just like rock bottom. Like just I am at the most desolate, like rock bottom, like coldest feeling I've ever felt in my life. And this is what it sounds like. And this is me working my way out to like find some light. Um, and yeah, yeah, it's crazy thinking about just everything I kind of went through and was able to emulate on that record. And yeah, the ones after are just as personal but less depressing. So they are easier to like stomach or something. I don't know how to word that, but
yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Um, regardless of whether if it's bright and happy or sad and dark, there's beauty in that too. And I love that you captured that and it's like a little time capsule. Each of these
yeah.
albums is kind of a little time capsule and it paints this picture and it takes you to a place. And so I'm definitely looking forward to having that snowstorm walk with that album in particular. So uh, it should be a lot of fun. Uh,
Hmm.
so let's get back to touring. A lot of people that watch the podcast are huge, a lot like Birds fans.
Oh
And
yeah.
we know that you have been touring with them and you're writing some music with them. You talked a little bit about
We're
that.
going to try to write some music.
Okay, okay.
It's up to the big boss, Mr. Franzino and company, if it is music that gets used.
Right.
Just I'm just fixing my expectations a little bit because I don't want to like, I would love to write with the band and I would love for music we work on together to get used for the band. I think that'd be fucking amazing. But I
Me
also
too.
have to be like, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Like it's not.
It's
It
not the
that
end of the
just is what it is. Is Michael has a
Yeah.
very specific vision for what A Lot Like Birds is and should be, and I want to respect that because I'm a newcomer to the fold, so I'm not trying to
Yeah.
detract. I think I could add some cool flair and new blood to stuff, but I also am not trying to just like make something that anyone hates. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But I'm sure you guys have all kinds of crazy times on tour. These these guys essentially become your little road family for a while. Um, there's
Definitely.
so many things to learn, from being on tour. There's, how things operate when it comes to shows and how to put things together, how to put visuals together and, how to get along with the band that you're playing with, the dynamics between everybody. What are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned from touring? It doesn't have necessarily have to be with a lot like birds, could be any touring situation. Just what's your biggest takeaway from touring?
Um, Touring has always been a master class in learning how to rough it and go with the flow. Um, Whether you like it or not, you are going to learn that, or you're going to learn of your ability to deal with problems as they pop up and like playing whack-a-mole with the problems. Um, no matter what level that you're at, unfortunately. I mean, it's seldom that you like get to a level where everything's so consistent and you like even your crew is consistent and everything like that. So at every level, there's like problems that arise and people are just trying to put out fires like constantly. So getting good at that is something you will do if you keep touring. Um, and you'll learn how to function with not as much sleep. Um,
I'm familiar with that.
you'll Yeah, you'll definitely have a lot of fun if you're with the right people. It's definitely taught me to be more in the moment. I think as of late in the past, yeah, I think ever since playing with birds, I think I've learned to really just I'm still working at this, but I've begun to like really go on a journey where I just am more in the moment, especially when playing. Like I really try to look out at people's faces and see what they're like what's going on, if that makes sense. I try to like see what they're going through or like how they're reacting because a lot of people have come to the bird shows like exercising their demons and it's felt awesome. And I like to just see all these little nuances of people while I play when I can. Like, sometimes I have to obviously focus on my guitar parts, but I get kind of wrapped up in the thought of like every person out there that is looking at our band play has like their own life with their own experiences and all these things and dreams and heartbreak and beautiful moments and it's kind of wild to think about it all intersecting for a moment and then like going away and then there's also this obvious connection with the music like because if they're saying every single word it's like that music has affected them just like it has me because I'm a big fan of A Lot Like Birds as well. Like I grew up going to their shows, um, which is fucking crazy still. Um, but yeah, I I've definitely in my 30s now, I'm learning to really try to connect to the present moment and make the most out of that. And when things are enjoyable, enjoy them and let them,
Oh, yeah.
those moments be fucking great. And like, oh, you also, if you have the money and you're able to, I mean, because everyone's got to eat, but like I love touring with Reese for many reasons, but and Joe too, because we're always trying to find like sick places to eat on tour.
Mhm.
I know Andrew is that vibe as well. He's a
Yeah.
if he recommends a place for me to eat, I'm gonna go there because he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, Reese and I really like Google mapping, just trying to find the best food around where we are, and
Oh
just
yeah, you're
like
smart.
yeah, just
Also,
like having if I could have one sick meal a day on tour or every other day, I'm happy.
Oh yeah.
keep you
That-
fueled up, man. And not to mention though, because you guys had like a really good tour package. I mean, we had a marionette come on here on the show right before the tour started. I talked to Isaac and Eric at the Rosetta Room show. They should be coming on here. I had them scheduled slated before the tour started, but life gets juggling. Isaac just had a baby, so he he
Mm,
uh he was on tour with Dance Gavin Dance, and he had to like call out because he just had that baby. So to see him back on the road's always great. And you guys got Mela, who are really sick, and they're just like rising up. So it's just like a really good package, just to like kind of like help the A Lot Like Birds movement keep on flapping.
yeah, no, the tour package was incredible, and we got real lucky. I think it was perfect. And it was exactly what it needed to be for that headlining tour. Everyone was so down, so cool. There's no drama, no ego, like just everyone being fucking awesome and all of us just wanting to make a great night of music happen. Genuinely, I like there wasn't one band that left the tour that we were like, oh yeah, well that band did fucking blah 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 blah. That didn't even happen. Like Mela, Dwellings, Zeta, Marionette, all sweethearts, all amazing people.
Wasn't
We're great
like
music.
wasn't Head Automatica like on a couple dates too?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Why did I forget about that? They were awesome too. They were fucking great. And
I was
they're
so
from
mad,
Long
dude.
Island, where
I wanted that to come to the West. I was like, please,
yeah,
please.
me too. They're from Long Island, where I'm from, dude.
Yeah.
I like I don't know them. I didn't know them beforehand, but now it was really nice meeting them and hanging with them. But like we would talk about some of the same shit of where we grew up. And I was like, yeah, I grew up here. Yeah, I grew up there. Yeah, I would go to this place. Oh, I would go to that place too. Like, that was really cool because definitely love Head Automatica and like Glassjaw too.
Of course. And anything Daryl Palumbo touches, man, go ahead. Just put it in my veins. Go ahead. I'm good.
Absolutely. Chad, their drummer is actually a friend of mine. And I was hoping they would come down this way to Virginia, but unfortunately they did
He's
not.
fucked up good. He is so cool too. Like, what a cool dude.
Yeah, Chad's great. I'm working on some stuff of my own right now for a revival of an old project called Life Among Lions. And I actually had Chad come in the studio and basically kind of do what Joe did for you with Secret Gardens. So I
Yeah.
mean, incredible work that
Freaking
I put out, and hopefully we'll get that out by roughly the end of the year. But
little
uh,
badass,
Nice.
Josh. You got all this cool info. You're like, you just came in for a little bit, you know.
well, me and that guy, we played in two different bands in high school, and we did shows
Wow.
together at that time, and that's how we met. So,
That's crazy.
it's a community, man. It's all like full circle. Everybody knows everybody, and like what did they call that game? The 6 degrees of Kevin
Kevin
Bacon, or
Bacon.
whatever, whatever that is. You know what I'm talking
Six,
about?
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's
Yeah,
every
yeah.
actor can be connected. Any good actor can be connected to Kevin Bacon through 6 movies or less.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
funny.
Same way in the media, I think.
That's
So,
I
like,
don't have
okay, this is don't judge me that I know about this. and I don't think that it's actually never mind. Maybe I should just change the name. Um, give me a random. Well, I mean, so you could. All right, sorry. Forget everything I just said. You could do the same thing on Wikipedia with like Reese Witherspoon. So if you go to a random article, like try to get back to Reese Witherspoon or something, or yeah, like you know what I'm saying? But I was told like you could do that game with anybody, right? So imagine the most fucked up person you could do it with, and that's what the game was described as to me.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, I could see that because Charles Manson eventually leads you to the Beach Boys.
yeah. So like you could it's a funny game though. It's like okay, press random article on Wikipedia and see if you can get back to blank
All
XYZ.
roads lead to Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, I'm sure I could get to Reese Witherspoon at some point.
Gotta
I
find the
just have to
secret
know
garden.
more about you just have to know about more about her catalog or something. I don't know. Anyway, next.
All right, so so speaking of touring, I know that you got a tour planned for Secret Garden, I believe. Secret Gardens, I believe. Yes. Um,
Yeah, we have a little run that starts in like a week and a half.
so that kicks ass. Hopefully I can catch that one. Maybe you come to Virginia, hopefully.
We're just doing like a three show kind of exclusive run. So it's Nashville, Brooklyn, where we're playing the Impermanent Amber front to back, and then Philly. Um, and at the Nashville and Philly show, we are going to be doing a bunch from the Impermanent Amber, but we're just not playing the whole album.
Damn,
Gotcha.
I'm
Philly,
missing out. I'm in Arizona.
Philly's a
Yeah,
possibility.
I think we're gonna try to come to Arizona next year. I was talking about it with the other band we're gonna try to do it with today. So
Nice.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, Philly's a possibility for me. We'll have to
Dude,
see.
yeah, come through. I'd
We'll have
I'd love to see you,
Road
dude.
trip.
Oh yeah, man. When you tour with Secret Gardens, I know you guys have like some really like atmospheric, studio layer work and stuff that you put on the albums. Like, do you include all of that stuff in your live show? I mean, how do you pick and choose if you don't? Like, what gets included? Using backing tracks, extra instrumentation, hiring other musicians. How's that work?
Yeah, so I'll typically run it as a drummer, two guitarists, and a bass player. Um, and I'll try to do as much as possible on the guitar. Um, and certain songs are constructed in a way where it's a lot easier for me to like loop stuff over and do that shit. Like when we play the song What Adventures Await Us live, it's really fucking sick because I'm looping like a ton of shit and we all have floor toms and we're all like doing like a floor tom ensemble while our loops build and stuff. It's really fun to play that song live. It's like a blast. But other songs, it's like too they like change too much and whatnot. So I'll opt to put a lot of stuff in the backtracks because at the end of the day, I want every important part from the record to be there when we play. I'm happy with like embellishing some parts live and changing stuff up a little bit where it's fun, and it keeps it fresh. But I'm not in the business of making like a song unrecognizable unless it's like an acoustic version or something.
Yeah, you're not the guy from
So yeah,
the
what's up?
So you're not the guy from the Counting Crows, man. If you've ever seen Counting Crows live, he like all the big hits, he never plays them the same. Like they're always like basically
Oh,
on. Which I
that's
guess if
tough.
you've been touring the same single for like 30 plus years, then I guess you got to do something to keep it interesting. But like I know a lot of people get really upset about that. So
Damn, that kind of sucks. I didn't
yeah.
realize that.
Yeah, well, it's still a fun show, If you're into seeing something different, it can be a lot of fun, but At any rate, I can appreciate, the concept that you're trying to bring. You want the live show to represent what you wrote. And, I like that because
We
when I go to
also
I typically like to see, oh, I really want to hear that song that I really love, but also a little mix of, some other stuff, some embellishment is always fun.
Mhm. That's what I try to go for, like the balance I try to strike. We also have I kind of figured out how to code like kind of a little bit of a light show to the music. Like we have some lights that we tour with generally, like at least when we're headlining, that I'll like put in the same backtrack session and it's like all to a grid. So I'll have it all like on MIDI and turning on and off at like to the music and stuff. And yeah, if a show allows for us to do that, then I bring it and we do it and it's fun. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it happens most of the time. And it's a lot of fun to do that. And that's like another element I can work on. But I could get crazy with it and really like time code it to the music and buy a bunch of fixtures, but I haven't like gone super hard on that. But it works for like a small club basement show. Like it creates a total vibe because that's what I want. I want it to be like you just really getting sucked into the experience,
Thoughts.
which is something I've had happen a few times during seeing live music, and the few times it's happened have been so important for me as a human, and I just whatever I could do to kind of recreate that feeling for someone else, like yeah, I gotta try at least.
No, that makes sense. I like that. The lighting concepts are a little bit out of my reach. I try with my stuff. I bought some like fancy lights, but I really don't know how to work them
My
or do it.
my definition of fancy is going to Big Lots or Pick and Save or wherever you want to call it, and they have like those Bluetooth speakers for like 20 bucks. They're rechargeable. They have like little light fixtures. I put my foot on it. There we go, man. 20 bucks. We got a light show. What's up?
Hell yeah.
So when you're playing with birds, obviously the repertoire and the energy, it's different, right? How does that affect like your live approach or your gear or even like the mindset that you step on the stage with?
Uh, I definitely step on stage with like all right, let's move. Well, they're cut from the same cloth because like I move around a lot when we play with Secret Gardens, but I'm more of in like a flowy kind of move around stage performance, like stage presence vibe. With birds, it's a lot more like headbangy, like jumping and like swinging my guitar around like a fucking madman and creating like chaos, like like
Yeah.
at the drive-in Mars
Yeah.
Volta vibes like that. Just
Get those the
fucking
noodle leg dancing, man. The Cedric
Sense
and
and then like
Ohara.
people are going hard and half more than half the time like they're moshing too. It'll be a show where people are like crowd surfing and going hard and shit. And I want to match that. I want to match that energy. Like I grew up loving that shit and going to shows like that, and I want to match that energy. But when Secret Gardens plays, it's definitely more of like a flowy, like evocative, just
Experience.
suck you in experience, go deeper kind of thing. Like kind of show you probably want to be on drugs for or something.
I
All right.
think also for like a lot like birds, you got to dodge Michael and Andy hanging from the ceilings and not falling on you. I mean, that's always
Yeah,
fun.
I've hung from the ceiling too a couple times. It's
Oh, it's a club, man. You're not. You're
yeah.
in it.
Yeah, I did it. I did it last year when we played with Hail the Sun in Fresno. It was fun.
Yeah, I saw you guys open for Hail the Sun when you guys played the Nile, and that was such a sick show. There's nothing for you guys to hang off in the rafters, but I mean, the fact that
No,
you guys find a perch and like kind of just sit there, I mean, you guys really are a lot like birds.
I crowd surfed. I get him out during that show. It was fun. Everyone
Yeah.
was cool.
So
That's
uh
cool.
so any like good, funny stories, some juicy moments from touring with birds, anything that stands out to you in particular that like, you know, you would like to share with our watchers here?
You're gonna have to guide me. Yeah, have to ask some guided questions to see if I bring up anything specific, because there's just so much that's gone on already in the 2 years that we've been like touring.
Best place you ate.
Uh, this, this Mexican spot that Reese and I had on a day off in Orlando. I don't,
Nice.
I think it was called Amor y Chile or something. And I was like, where? I was like, I'm in like a shopping center. Why is this the greatest fucking meal I've ever had? It was like I was like everyone in this restaurant deserves like a raise, and like, you know, all of them deserve like 20 hookers and some Coke, or I don't know. I'm just saying dumb shit at this point.
Treat.
But like
Tasty treat.
all of them deserve treats in whatever form that they want. Like it was amazing. It was so good. Um, yeah. That was my favorite one from the last tour, I think.
Which venue had the coolest looking green room?
The green rooms in the Norva in Virginia are fucking sick. Have you ever been
They
there,
are.
Josh?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. They're pretty nasty.
Dude, I played some basketball. I got in the sauna. I took a shower.
Yeah, yeah, they're thick, dude.
I did like a backwards, like one-handed fucking shot, and I have it on video of me at the Norva doing that. It was funny.
That's what's up.
So yeah, I'm more so looking for like what was like an instance where like something scary happened, or somebody got hurt, or it turned into like kind of a funny story. Things ended up working out for you guys, or
Oh,
something.
well, this one's on me. When we were in Vegas on the Fall of Troy tour, Joe and I ate some spicy chicken that we had to sign waivers to eat and order. And
Oh,
Joe, we were both not okay. I almost couldn't play the show, but I did.
Uh,
Joe was better than me. He handled it like more of a man than me, but I normally love spicy food and that kind of shit. And when they make you sign the waiver, it's kind of like a gimmick half the time. But this one actually required the waiver, and I was not okay for the rest of the day. I was like legitimately not good. I was really just out of it. Not like I could barely walk uh more than a few feet. So I somehow managed to play that set and not throw up, puke, shit, whatever, all over the place. It was very bad though. I barely moved. I was like moving like I was a 70-year-old, and people probably didn't have the best time watching me play, but I kind of tried to like stay in the side and out of the limelight a bit. That was rough though. A rough time.
oh
rough night
yeah.
at the office.
But,
Self-inflicted.
Yeah,
yeah, you will be
self-inflicted.
you will be out of
You even
here.
signed a piece of paper that said you will get hurt after you eat this. You're like,
On
that's bullshit.
on the tour we were just on, there was like two or three instances of fire. One was coming down the mountains in like from Denver, which, if your brakes are under a lot of pressure or a lot of load and they're getting really hot, they could be on fire. That's a whole, that's kind of expected and it sucks, but that does happen often in those mountains. The most interesting one was, dude, we were so tired. We had this like crazy couple days with van issues, and like it was like the start of the tour we were just on, and uh like a bunch of the batteries in our van weren't working. It was because it was a rental, and we had to get them replaced like one by one because we were trying to diagnose the problem. The problem was like after a little bit, the van would just start reeking of sulfuric acid,
Oh,
which is
fun.
from like a battery that's like overheating and like shorting out or whatever. I'm not a mechanic, but yeah, it would just be like it would be like I was in Yellowstone, like just pure sulfuric acid inside the van,
Ugh.
and it kept happening. And then we replaced all the batteries, stopped happening, and then like I think the day it stopped happening and we can finally have a day off and catch up on all the sleep we lost, all of us fucking jolt up awake at 7 a.m. from a fire alarm in our hotel in Tampa. And we're not all in the same room. Me and Reese were sharing a room. And I jolt up because like that's the kind of person I am, I guess. Like I in a situation
I
like
don't
that,
want
it's
to
like
die.
total fight or yeah, it's like I'm gonna die, fight or flight shit. And like if a fire alarm goes off, it's like like you're like, oh my God, I'm awake, but you're also like, God damn it, was someone fucking smoking again? Like, you know what I mean, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
what the
Like,
fuck?
I really hope this is a sincere fire and not some dude smoking a joint.
Yeah,
No.
it's like, oh, did some motherfucker pull the firearm? And I'm like, okay, fuck. Like, ugh, I'll put my pants on. I open the door and I'm like, and it's just real, like, chemical smoke, like, oh my fuck. And I was like, Reese, get the fuck up. We need to leave right now. And I fucking just ran out of that hotel. And it was like something was on fire. Um, and it was a very valid fire alarm.
That's
Um,
good. Did somebody was just playing a Closure in Moscow vinyl and it just caught fire? What happened?
uh, no, this is crazy, but we heard that a lightning bolt struck the hotel at some point.
Lightning bolt struck a Closure in Moscow vinyl.
Apparently, the hotel got struck by lightning, but I don't know how real that was or if that was just someone saying that. But apparently, the hotel got struck by lightning. It was a big hotel though, so I didn't hear that or anything. But there was a fire. There was definitely a fire, and when I
I'm
got
glad you
woken
guys
up,
survived.
yeah, but it fucking sucked. We were all trying to get actual sleep, and we like had to wait a while before we could go back into our room because it just smelled like fucking chemical burns. And the hallway, the room got better after a little bit because the AC like cycled the air, but the hallway was like horrible. I had to be like, what the fuck, this the whole
Yeah,
time. But yeah, that
that's
was just like, I don't know. It was just kind of funny, but also like, what the fuck?
man, that's crazy, dude. Like, luckily, eh, nobody was hurt and no harm, no
Oh yeah.
foul.
I literally was like, oh my God, because I was like, I think I think Andy might have been in the hotel. Andy is like sleeps till like 4 o'clock every day type dude. And I was like, did Andy even wake up? Like, is he alive? Like, did he just sleep through this? Because he would. And yeah.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that stuff with us. Yeah, kind of want to take a look at I guess pick your brain on like what the future plans are for Secret Gardens touring. Obviously, you said you got some touring coming up, some collaborations coming up. What else you got in store? Any music out anytime soon? Any new music videos, albums?
Um, so I want to record an acoustic EP this winter with one song from each of the Tetralogy records. I I feel like, I mean, the Impermanent Amber is a year old, and a lot of people are discovering the Tetralogy for the first time still. So I still feel like touring for a while, and not putting out like a big album for a long time. I am like always writing though, and I my goal for next year, besides the touring that we plan to do for Secret Gardens and Birds, is to really just make a couple EPs or start making like EPs that are like pretty genre focused and I'll figure out how to market them or like see if a concept comes along the way. But like, I really like the idea of just like putting out shorter genre focused collected like a collection of EPs like that. And just having fun with it, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I like it. It
I
sounds
mean,
cool.
if you ever need any help, man, with that heavier album, you can always hit me up. If you need something with more riffy, more introspective, more Josh is just all he's just really talented. If you need anything else, hit up Josh, man. We're always down to work.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that,
Thanks,
man.
y'all.
Yeah,
Of
man.
course. And we got to come up with that poll that's gonna like take over the world for Secret
Yeah,
Gardens.
we really need to be like we need to psy up the entire post-hardcore math rock community.
Let's
Oh
do
yeah.
it. Fuck it, man. My band needs it too. The Angel Like Expression. We want to take over the world. Secret Gardens can take over the world. Life Among Lions. We can take over the world, man. What
Yeah,
bands are gonna be touring in 10 years? It'll be us.
that's right.
Oh yeah, man. So you have you have experienced lifetimes, in these albums, these seasons and these concepts that you've written about. And obviously you've got a whole nother world with a lot like Birds and the touring and all of that. I mean, looking back at, all of all of this life experience, what are you most proud of to this point? Any song in particular, any particular moment feel very defining for you? What fills you with the most pride?
Um, Great question, and thank you for such a humbling preface to the question. It's hard to realize all that stuff myself, because like if I died tomorrow, it would be sad because I have many more things that I could work on, but I will know that for the most part, like my initial arc of like my life's work was completed. And that's just really something I've been grateful for to be able to do. Which draws back to your question, which like what am I most proud of? I mean, the like being able to hold at least three of the four records. I mean, I could press a summer record if I want on vinyl, but I'm going to do that when I re-record it and put that out and probably do like a box set or something. But just being able to hold these records that I've spent so much goddamn time on and really exposed a lot of my deepest like feelings and emotions on, it's it's just insane to think that like I don't know, like my first pressing and of Tundra my first pressing of the Impermanent Amber and Everbloom like sold out, and so hundreds of people own a Secret Gardens vinyl at this point, and I'm like I cannot, that makes no sense. Like but yeah, that's a true thing. That is a statement that is factually correct, and I cannot still process that. I think some of my proudest moments too, I mean, playing with a lot like Birds, that some of those iconic major performances that like I would have been at if if like the cards didn't have it so that I would be playing the gig and someone else was, like I'd be at one of those shows for sure. Uh I would have not missed that. Them coming back and seeing all those songs played live. And just the fact that I got to be the one on stage helping all of that come to life, it's hard to it's really hard to realize some of the time, but it helps when you're contextualizing it with the way you explain it. But yeah, just you know, it's fucking crazy to think about me playing a part in that now. Like I remember when Birds was done, and I remember like meeting I didn't really meet too many of the Birds guys back then. I did when Corey was touring with Sufferer, I did talk with Corey for a good little while at that show, and we
That's
just
what's
like
up.
traded. What's up?
I said that's what's up. I remember seeing Suffer open for the Fall of Troy Strawberry Girls, and they played with oh, what is Code Rebber's other band? Dead American. That was
Oh,
such a sick show.
that's
Suffer
a
is
sick
so
show.
good.
Yeah, that I'm crazy. It's crazy to have been able to see them play. Because that'll never happen again. But yeah, like fucking sick as hell. And it was just cool to just like talk to to Corey, like mano a mano, that one show. And that was so many years ago before I was even like the germination of a seed of an idea of playing in the band. And just full circle moments like that. And when I first met Joe, and knowing of extensively of his work and his work being so formative for me, and just kind of having a conversation with him, like the first time I really got to like I had met him, I think, but we actually we actually met like in the studio when he was recording the first Royal Coda record.
Sick.
Here's to You. Here's to You was recording Wander Wander in the same
Mhm.
studio in the B room, which is
Oh wow.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
crazy because I remember I interviewed Sergio like years back, and he was talking about working on that first album. And it was supposed to just be a Sergio Medina like solo record, and then he
Was,
was like,
dude.
and like I love that first record. And there's no other Royal Coda album like that first record when it was like intentionalized for that. And Kurt and I interviewed him. He was like, "Yeah, I was going through like a really dark period. That was a very dark, very brooding album for me." And just like Sergio being like, "Shit, I can't sing. I should get Kurt to sing this." And then he brought in Joe, and he did all this other stuff where he was just like, "I just kept like asking my friends to make this better."
Yeah, Joe, Joe like learned all that shit and tracked on it in like a crazy short amount of time. And I remember talking to him about that because the two studios, so basically, like we did drums in the A room like the week before. Then they came in and did drums and everything, and but we shifted over to the B room where we were doing like guitars and reamping and vocals and other shit. And the two rooms meet in this one common room at Voodoo. And I like remember going in there once to like just I don't know, hang, chill, grab a drink or something. And Joe was just there, and I was just like, "Hey, man, I'm Greg. How's that going?" And just, I remember being like, "Fuck, it's kind of distracting that both of them are they're like in the other room making another record because I love a bunch of their bands and listen to a bunch of their music." And like, uh, Birds was not broken up yet, or was broken up. I don't remember. But Cianvar was a thing, and I just was like, fuck.
Like when did Divisi come out again? I think that was like 2012, wasn't it? And first Royal Coda, I want to say is 2014. Let me just check. I'm a
Oh,
nerd for that kind of stuff.
this is 2017, and Birds broke up in 2018. Uh,
That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah. That's
yeah,
we
so,
get the factoids right here, man. We're man knows
yeah.
ball.
So yeah, I just remember just talking with Joe a little bit, but
Yeah,
not.
because Royal Coda album. The first one was 2018, so that was like the year after.
Yeah, and he was so humble and cool and just a normal dude to talk to. And just I remember us bonding over a lot of like video game stuff. And yeah, you know, then he
Man,
found what I want, he found the infamous clip that made it all happen of me demoing and playing over Skydeck on my Instagram that he commented on and was like, "This is awesome." And I was like, "It would be way cooler if you played drums on it." And then that's what happened.
Nice.
gotta
Yeah,
shoot
just
that shot. Got to
Down
shoot
to earth.
that shot, man.
Yeah, Joe's a really cool, down to earth guy, man. We chatted on a couple of occasions. I on my For my career, I am a firefighter, and it is coincidental that Joe also spent some time as a firefighter. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that, dude. That's fucking awesome. Thanks for fucking saving lives, dude.
uh,
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. But yeah, no, super cool guy, down to earth, man, and just a pleasure to talk to you. Hopefully, we get him on the show
You
sooner than
should.
later. Well, yeah.
I
So
know somebody that knows somebody that can ask him. I can see what's up.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fucking, I'm, I'm
Hey,
sure he'd be down.
Hey, Greg, can you ask? I'm just kidding. It's somebody. I was gonna
Mm,
ask though. You and Joe bonded over video games. Which video games are we talking here, though?
I mean, like everything. And oh god, so much. We first started playing like he would just post about shit that I was playing or vice versa, and I would be like, dude, that's great, and be like, yeah, dude, I know, blah blah blah. And this is before we even like were friends, and that was really cool. Um. And then when we became friends, we started playing Risk of Rain 2 with each other uh over the interwebs, and that was fun. And me and him both love like Dead Space
Hmm.
and horror games like that.
That's what's up.
Some of the Resident Evil stuff. We both
Hmm.
fuck with that a lot.
Heck yeah, man!
Um
I started replaying Resident Evil 6 because it's like a good co-op game, and my girlfriend likes video games. And I was just like, you should play Resident Evil 6. It's not a great Resident Evil, but it's a great two-player game.
yeah. I haven't even played that
oh,
one, dude. I fell off for a little bit. But
What was like the
yeah,
last what was the last Resident Evil you played since you say you fell off?
dude, I'm actually I was in like a weird in between games shoulder period, and I had bought but not played the remake of 4. So I
Nice.
have that file still
I feel,
open, and I could make
I
progress
feel
on it.
that. I got to a certain part in 4 and I was like, I've played this game. I'm gonna go play another game. It was a
Yeah.
remake.
Oh,
It's definitely different, but it's just like it felt kind of samey. And there were certain things I liked about the GameCube version of Resident Evil that 4 that just didn't feel like they got brought to the remake.
like how you can't move and shoot at the same time.
Right?
Terrifying. Terrifying decision.
yeah, I played the
Um,
beat of Resident Evil 4. That was a lot of fun.
Well,
you know
nice.
what was insanely sick was Resident Evil 4 in VR, bro.
Yeah,
Really?
that's the saying.
It is,
I played it in VR.
dude, it is so fun.
Oh yeah, it's a blast.
You're like, you're pulling the shotgun from your back, grabbing it, doing this. You're like pulling a grenade from your hip, pulling the pin out and throwing. It's awesome,
Oh,
dude. It's fucking rad.
absolutely. Probably
I
one of my things to play to date, actually.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
played I played through a good chunk of it on VR at my friend's house when I lived in New York, and it was fucking awesome. It was so fun.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I always love a little video game talk.
So,
Mhm.
aside from video games, what do you do to unplug? What do you do to like separate from all the music and the touring and all of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's really the loves of my life are like hiking, video games, and I get you could bunch in hiking and traveling. Like I'm not a travel, go to the beach, like go on the beach for 10 days guy. I'm a like a travel, I'm gonna go climb some mountains kind of guy. But also like I do want to see like big cities and explore some of the culture and like eat really good food and shit. And so I love doing that. I've been to Australia twice doing that. I've been to some of Europe. Now I'm starting to get into the Europe stuff. I was hiking in the Dolomites this summer and it was fucking amazing. Um, yeah, nowadays I also like just spending time with my fiance and enjoying that and just Well, we hike with each other a lot and have bonded a lot over that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I like I don't own a house, but I'm actually kind of I think I might we're gonna think about buying a house this year. It's realistically becoming more and more attainable, but like not but I rent a house now and there's a lot of shit to do around a fucking house, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot of goddamn
Oh, yeah.
shit to do.
Good story.
And yeah, I was living in I lived in a house for most of my life. I was just in an apartment before here. But yeah, now that it's like my own house, there's a lot of fucking shit to do. And my house is messy right now because I've done nothing since tour got off, just work. And it's been exhausting. And I've this yeah, this show has been taking up so much of my time.
You poor
Sorry.
man. It's
I'm
it,
tired
it
because of
it's
I'm
gotta be like
tired because
midnight over. It's
no,
like midnight.
it's 11.
Oh
But I
wow.
just got up at fucking 6 a.m. to go to work today and
Oh jeez.
sucks.
You've been working hard, man, and you've been touring hard and you've been playing music hard. I'm really stoked with this interview. I think this came out really well. I don't think I'm gonna have to edit a thing. I can probably just get this up tomorrow and
All right, whatever you
knock it
guys
out of
want
the
to
park.
do.
Hell yeah, man. I think this has been a great experience. If I could, before we wrap up, I usually talk to my guests about a little playlist I run on Spotify. Probably can add
Mhm.
some Secret Gardens in there. We got like 2,300 followers on that playlist. I think that would
Oh
make a good
shit.
addition. What would be
Yeah,
a
thank
song that you
you.
what would you think would be a good song to add to this playlist to kind of just be like that intro song to Secret Gardens for the
Yeah.
uninitiated?
What's this playlist? I'm gonna check out some of the other songs on it.
Ryan Rex Current Wave. Um, yeah, it's Ryan Rex is let me see if I can that's backwards. Ryan RyanRexWrex.
I
Current
see it.
Wave, it's all yeah, there you go. But there's awesome bands on there. Like the first band I would say is more in your wheelhouse, having kind of like a math rocky sound. Hard Softy, their latest single, Bubble Fight, is out right now. I got high hopes for this band. They're really cool. Kind of got like a mix between like Paramore and like Dance Gavin Dance vibes. Maybe a little bit more
Oh
like
yeah.
TTNG, This Town Needs Guns. Um,
Yeah.
we got Lake Mar. I mean that's the second band on that playlist. It's spelled Mar is spelled MAR/E, but it's pronounced Mar. I mean, I'm always a fan of
Mhm.
slashes bands. I don't know why, but it just makes them sound better. I don't get it, but that song's called Reanimatrix. It's really sick, really cool. We have Thy Kingdom. They have a new song out, Time Slips Away. Really awesome. There's a bunch of really good bands in here. I could be here all day, man, chewing your ear off. But
Yeah.
I wanted to shout out Squall of Your Silence. They're from the Ukraine. They're a great band. They got the vibes like If I Die First, kind of like See You Space Cowboy, that split EP that came out a few years ago.
Hell
Kind of
yeah.
like OG, like from first to last, like when post hardcore was gritty and nasty. I'm a fan of that. I love when people try to harken back to like that old school Alisana type thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right.
And
So I'm gonna say you should throw on.
The Coven.
You think so? I feel like that is a great snapshot of like one aspect of what we sound like. But I don't know. Is there an all-encompassing song as to what Secret Garden sounds like? Not really. But I was gonna say Rumination is a good example,
I
but
think that would be
also
good.
Yeah, you got to do the
yeah.
Best Buy one. Best Buy.
Yeah. Yeah, the Best Buy song.
I had a question though, because your features are listed differently than features are usually listed. Is there like a specific
Are they?
reason? Yeah, because it says
Uh
like, with Idola, but it doesn't have like Idola featured on the track, which I think would be like, it would be like a big boon for like your music if it like led to
no,
Idola, since it's like algorithm thing.
it does. No, it goes there.
That's weird. It didn't do that on mine. And maybe that's because I looked at it on because I have two phones because I'm a loser. Uh, I have free
Yeah,
Spotify
I'm
on
on
one.
I'm on Idola's page right now. And if you go to appears on, it's Everbloom, and then when I go to Everbloom, I click on Sunshower with Idola, click Idola, and yeah, Idola pops up.
Yeah,
Nice.
it, but,
It's so weird that it wouldn't do that for me. I blame free Spotify. I should check these things on my paid for Spotify.
I thought you meant
Oh, yeah.
how some tracks say like, features or with Ella Meadows of Transit, versus
Yeah,
some don't,
that's an
Yeah,
intentional
that
decision. Um, because uh I think it depends on the kind of part that the person or collaborator like kind of had. Um, I don't know, it's hard, and it's also depends on like their name and like like how they like how present they are on the platform or whatnot. I also don't like the word featuring, like literally the word feat or featuring like in songs. I feel like it's been played out, it's been done. But you can do the cool thing that I guess Spotify can let you do is like you can just add like a feature in the like sub credits.
yeah.
So I've been doing that, but I think if I really want to highlight like if I really want to accentuate a vocalist's contribution to the song, I'll throw like with blank in the title because like the Coven was essentially like mostly written by Lauren from Gravebloom, and I tweaked a couple things lyrically and gave some melodic ideas, but that was like mostly her. And the same
Nice.
thing with Ella. Ella just sent me like basically a demo of like the whole song one day, and we
No.
reworked a couple things, but Ella fucking crushed it. And that was like one of the coolest things ever because I love Transit and her old band very much.
Yeah,
And yeah, shit like that, if that makes sense.
that
I'm
makes
trying to look
sense.
at the yeah,
Yeah, I
Andrew, I mean Andrew like made like, you know, Andrew and Ian did a ton of the vocals like as they were pretty much on
yeah,
Idola on Sunshower. And I had like a few lyrical things I wanted to try and we ended up I think going with them.
yeah,
And it was just a really
Andrew
successful.
Andrew actually said that I guess because he was sort of setting up for his solo stuff, with the feature that he did on the Jimmy and the Veil album. He told Jimmy like to credit him as Andrew Michael Wells instead of Idola. So you see like the difference there. I guess like when he did.
I
Yeah.
I saw that because Galleons did the same thing. They did put Andrew Michael Wells at first, but then like a few months later, or like maybe 6 months down the line, it was Andrew Michael Wells, comma Idola.
Yeah, I guess I mean that's a strategic decision that
I think
they've
it's an
made.
algorithm thing,
I
probably.
mean, Andrew did the solo tour, Andrew Michael Wells solo tour, and I think he had plans for like a solo album there for a sec, but then he became the lead singer of Dance Gavin Dance. I guess that throws monkey wrenches in your plans. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
trying
the
to look
solo.
this up now, but whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could chew your ear off all day, man, and I've been having fun doing this. But it is getting late where I gotta go, and I got a little one. I gotta get ready for school at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. Is there
Yeah.
any way that you can tell our fine viewing audience how to find you on social media? What is the app? How do they find you on Spotify? Tell them where to go so they can find you, my friend Greg.
There's no way for me to tell this. This is impossible information that I cannot divvy out. So I'm on everything. I'm the words at secret and then gardens without vowels. So secret GRDNS. That is my at on everything. And you can go to secretgardensmusic.com. That's spelt normal all the way out. Secretgardensmusic.com. and it's got all the important stuff on there, like where we're playing and a couple of the things like web store and whatnot. But you know, keep it real. Just follow me on Instagram. That's where I usually post the most and keep up to date on shit. And
Uh-uh.
definitely going to be coming back. Definitely gonna try to come wherever you are listening to next year. You know, as best as we can. Nothing overseas yet, but I'm trying to get out to the West Coast and do all the US stuff that we have never been to next year because I think our band is ready to try it for the first time. But
Hell yeah,
it's
man!
really
You
just
you guys would kill it. Like 1720, Chain Reaction in Mesa. They got the Nile Theater. Rosetta. I mean, you already killed the Rosetta Room. I mean, you've already killed these places. I think Secret Gardens could do the same, man.
thank you. Yeah, we're a very baby band, so we really need to be playing in like small clubs and basements and shit. But I'm happy with that. I just want to get out there and do it, you know?
Hell yeah, I'm all about it, man. And Josh, was there anything you want to tell people how to follow you on the internet and
Oh,
say your
well,
goodbyes and tell Greg that this has been so great?
sure, man. Well, first things first, man. Thank you, Greg, for spending your evening with us, answering these questions. I know we threw a lot at you. You threw a lot back, which is great. I
Oh yeah.
think for all the fans that are watching, they're going to appreciate the information that was provided today, and hopefully have a deeper understanding of the concept and the artist behind Secret Gardens. So thank you very much for that. My
Yeah.
name's Josh Green. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, on Facebook as well, social media. And you can check out my band Life Among Lions, who should be putting out some new music here towards the end of the year with the lead singer of Jimmy and the Veil. So check that out. But all said and done, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Warp Tour podcast or Warp Taste podcast. And Greg, big ups to you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot
Awesome.
for having me, folks. Fun to chat with you guys. You guys have a good night and rest
You too,
well.
Greg. Awesome, man. And I'm Ryan Rex, and this has been a great interview with Secret Gardens. You can follow me everywhere. I'm at Ryan Rex. You can follow my band, The Angel Like Expression. They're usually The Angel Like Expression everywhere. So this has been Warp Taste Podcast. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great night.
Yeah.